Hello lovelies and welcome to the channel. So I have a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout for you today, a mixed media one as usual, and this is probably one of my most favourite pictures from the entire year, well to date anyway. So ever have one of those photos that you just love so much and you don't think you can do it justice? Well, this is that photo for me, and I know it doesn't look like much, but it really has a great story behind it. And I really wanted a deep red to go with Will's shirt, so I've gotten some ruby paint out. I'll tell you all about the photo in a minute, but I just want to tell you about my background. So I'm just using a stiff paintbrush to brush on some paint, and then I'm going in with a Tim Holtz stencils, drawing a blank for a second there, and just some black paint. And yes, it is very messy, very grungy, but that's where I'm going with this layout. So it is a sports layout. It is a picture of Will at soccer. So back in June, Will had a gala day, a soccer gala day, an entire day, game after game of soccer. Will loves soccer. It's his thing. And Will has a very big boot behind him. He can boot that ball halfway down the field, and if you're in the way, you will get hit with that ball and possibly hurt. Now, he did that to a fair few of his teammates, accidentally of course, throughout the year, especially the poor younger girls who just happened to get in the way of that boot. So at this gala day, Will actually got hit with the ball right fair and square in the gut. It winded him too. Dad was coaching on the field and had to give him a cuddle, and he had to come off. He lost his breath for a few seconds. It was a good kick, and then when we went and had a look at his belly, there was actually a perfect imprint of the pattern of the ball. I don't just mean a red circle, I mean you could see the actual checkered pattern on his belly. It was hilarious. Now obviously when I say that, I didn't laugh at my poor child who was upset at the time, but now I'm looking back on it, we had to take a photo. He almost wasn't going to let me, but the pattern was just amazing on his belly. So he bounced back really quickly, and then it wasn't long before he was asking to go back on the field. But yeah, it's just one of those photos that I really wanted to document. So the colours for my layout are black and red. Now our team colours, we're the Redbacks, so our team colours are black and red. And I have done a layout earlier in the year of his soccer photos with the same colours, which is why I was aiming for a different look to this layout. So the first thing I see when I look at this, I think, ouch. And so I really wanted to have a really big, bold title. Thickers weren't going to cut it. I wanted something big. And I don't have any big letter stencils. I really want the Flutter by Designs ones, but they're out of stock at the moment. So hopefully I can get my hands on some of those. So I had to hand draw it. I'm not the best when it comes to hand drawing, but, you know, I really wanted this as my title. So I just do a quick sketch of my letters with a pencil, and then go over it and fix it up a bit with a pen, cut them out, and then I'm going to paint them in black. So as you can see, well, as you saw me do, that background is really red with some black bits and pieces and then some white splatters. So I went for a black paint to colour my letters because I really wanted them big and bold. For one second I thought they might be a bit too big and I was going to have to draw them all over again, but in the end I really like how they turn out. They are big and it does take up a big chunk of layout, but it really gets the point across, that's for sure. So this is just copy paper that I drew on and cut out and painted, and then I let them dry overnight under a stamp block just to flatten them out. And then I'm just going to glue them onto my layout after I map my photo. So when I do a mixed media background, I have learned to let it sit overnight, generally under something heavy, because I put a lot of media on my mixed media backgrounds and they tend to warp a bit. But I've learned if I let them dry and then anchor them under like an art journal or a box with a kit or something in it, a pizza box, something heavy, generally it straightens out pretty good for me. So I'm really, really liking the way that's working. Oh my goodness. So I wanted to map my photo, but I wanted to get a bit tricky because, you know, I've been working on my layers and I thought I would be able to rip some copy paper to give it a nice jagged edge. Well, that didn't work for me so well at all. It was terrible. I tried twice and then I gave up, which is what you saw me doing a minute ago. I was ripping it off. I ripped it off 2 times. And then I was left with at least one nice corner, so I thought, oh, maybe I can do a white on white layer, and that'll give me my jagged edges, but also a clean matte behind my photo, if that makes sense. So basically, I'm double matting my photo on 2 pieces of white copy paper. I don't tend to use cardstock. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe if I had have used cardstock, I would have got a better controlled rip. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe I should try that next time. Definitely going to try that. So I've matted my photo, and then I'm going to layer it on some foam because I want some dimension on this. I don't want it to be too flat. The embellishments I use are going to be pretty flat, so I do want some dimension. Yes, that little kick down the bottom of my layers does bug me in the end, and I do rip it to make it smaller, which was taking quite a risk because every time I ripped that paper, it was just not doing what I wanted. So I'm just using some plain foam, using some wet glue to glue it down because I got lazy and didn't want to use tape. My child has stolen all of my glue sticks and I'm running low on tape, and I have this really thin one that I ordered by accident and I hate it. So I need to get some more of the regular size tape. So now I'm going to add my title. As you can see, it was pretty big, and because on the plus side, because I do have that wet glue on that foam, I do get a few seconds to move my picture around until I'm happy with it, where I can fit it and my title in. So then I'm just going to glue my title down so I can see what it looks like, and then I'm going to go from there and start embellishing my layout. So I got lucky because a while back I found some Kaiser Craft sports themed collectibles. And it's a whole bunch of different sports, but there is some soccer stuff in there, and there's a goal, a soccer ball, and some boots. So I do go through and get out all the soccer bits and pieces from that packet. But in the end, I decided to go with the boots and the ball, which I think was quite fitting for this layout. And I got lucky because the boots were a red and black, and the ball obviously was black and white. So before I even thought about color coordinating my collectibles to my layout, yeah, I didn't think that through very well, but I got really lucky in the end that they all matched. So here's me just going through those collectibles. As you can see, it's a pretty decent packet of all different kinds. I had to actually hunt around on eBay for this one, because by the time Will had taken up soccer, yeah, this was probably an old discontinued range. So yeah, it was a while ago. So I am fiddling around with the placement. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the goal and the ball, but then it was too heavy on the right side. So in the end, I go with the boots and the ball around my title just to make a little cluster. But I did want to add some journaling on this page, and I'm going to do that right above where those boots are. So to do that, I'm going to use some cardstock. No, copy paper. Generally, I just grab whatever's on my desk, whether it be scraps of cardstock or copy paper. And yeah, then I cut it up into little strips and make that for my journaling. Oh, hang on, no, first, my title wasn't standing out enough. And I wanted to make it really pop off that background, so I decided to use my white Jelly Roll pen and outline that black. I am outlining on top of the letters, not around the edges, if that makes sense. So it's actually on the black where I'm drawing that white. And I wanted to do that before I stuck that soccer ball down, because I didn't want it to look like I'd gone around the soccer ball, if that makes sense, because I knew that would totally happen. And I've used some foam dimensional dots to pop up that soccer ball as well. So now I'm just adding those boots, and then I'm going to work on my journaling. So with my journaling, you've seen me do it many times. I cut up some strips of copy paper or cardstock, glue them down, and then add my journaling to them. And because this background is red, those white strips really pop off, and you can really see my journaling quite well, which is one of the reasons I do like this technique. So I'm just going to write the story of poor Will getting hit with that ball, and yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this layout. I don't do a messy border around it. I think it looks fine just the way it is. I really like the way this layout turned out. So I hope you have enjoyed the video, and yeah, hopefully I'm going to get some more December Daily done up in the next few days. I finally found my 2017 album, yay! But yeah, I just really wanted to catch up on some of my scrapbooking. And like I said, these are the photos I have printed out. So thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy the layout, and I'll be back real soon with a new video. Bye for now.